We got Monday Night Football tonight, and I have a 3-leg DFS entry for you guys to hammer on Underdog Fantasy. I hopped on to the Daily Grind Fantasy DFS optimizer to find these plays. I found 3 that I really like, that I highly recommend tailing. Before we get into it, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. Helps us out a ton. As for DFS, using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer is really just an incredible tool. The way it works, it's pretty simple. You choose the DFS platform you're looking for, and then it color codes the plays, basically meaning green equals good. Now, there's a lot that goes into this, which I can detail a little bit, but really the most important thing to understand, the most high level part of this, is green equals good. But to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty, when it comes to DFS, each platform has different payouts depending on how many legs you're putting in an entry, right? If you click this little drop down here, plus EV plays, it literally tells you what the odds are per entry. And that's what is in this parentheses right here. Really what you need to know, the lower the numbers, the better. So minus 136, minus 137, not that good. Minus 122, that is pretty good. Minus 120, minus 122, pretty good. So when it comes to Underdog specifically, using 3 legs non-insured, or pretty much any way of a 5-pick, with insurance, without insurance is good to go. Those are the 2 or 3 main entries that you want to play on Underdog. The reason why, you're getting the best value, the best bang for your buck. Another way of thinking about it is you could win the lowest percentage of your individual legs per entry and still be profitable with 3 non-insurance and 5-leg options on Underdog. And the cutoff point for the 3 legs without insurance is roughly 55%. Anything that you can get above the 55% number is going to be good to go. As you can see, when we get below 55, it starts to turn yellow. From there, once you have determined how many legs you're going to put into an entry, all you're really trying to do is maximize your win percentage. Because when you're playing on these DFS platforms like Underdog, whatever, you're always going to get the implied odds of minus 122 for a 3-pick non-insurance. Whether you take the over or the under or another player prop or a different player prop or that player prop over there, you're always going to get minus 122 odds. So if you can find a play like this that has a win percentage of over 57% that should be priced at minus 134, well, that is the definition of a positive expected value player prop on Underdog. And this is our first leg, so we can get right into it. In terms of actually reading the DFS optimizer, you read it just from left to right. The play is Aaron Judge. The play is Aaron Judge. We're taking his fantasy points to go under 10. Aaron Judge under 10 fantasy points. This is a play because, as I mentioned, DGF calculates this to be at minus 134 odds with a win percentage of 57.24%. These last 2 columns are important to understand. As I mentioned, it gives you the odds and the win percentage. DGF comes up with their own proprietary line for what a market should be priced at. It takes into account a ton of different factors, tons of different data, the odds of where other sportsbooks are pricing it. As we see, DraftKings has this at minus 133, looks at historical data as well, spits out their own odds, converts that into a win percentage. This is our first leg, the Aaron Judge one. Next up, we are taking Corbin Carroll, another fantasy points one, to go under 9.5. This one is priced very similarly to the Aaron Judge one. DGF has this priced at minus 133 with the win percentage of essentially 57%. DraftKings, we also see prices this at minus 132. So DGF pretty closely aligned to DraftKings on both of these. And then our last play, and this is where we get into the Monday Night Football nitty-gritty for tonight. We are taking Mike Evans, his fantasy points, another under. We found some value in these under fantasy points, 12.25. As we can see, there's a little bit more of the market for us to read on this one. FanDuel at minus 128, DraftKings at minus 126, BetMGM also at minus 126, and Caesars at minus 125. DGF is a little bit on the higher end at minus 127, but still pretty closely aligned to every other book. Win percentage of just below 56%. 3 legs for you guys to lock in for tonight. We got Monday Night Football. We got some MLB madness as well. Hopefully we can get a 3-4-3 day. If you're riding with us, make sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching and have a good one.